In this video, we're going to take a look at congruent polygons. Congruent polygons are polygons or shapes that have the same size and shape. This symbol, the equal sign with a little wave above it, means is congruent to. So it's another way of saying equals, that one equals the another, but we use the word congruent particularly to mean about size and shape. It's a geometric term, really. When the polygons are congruent, you can flip, slide, or turn one another so that it fits exactly on top of the other. They are the exact same size and shape. If congruent polygons are truly congruent, it means that the corresponding angles, the angles that are in the same position, and the corresponding sides are going to be exactly the same. So for example, down below here, we have an example of two polygons, okay, that are congruent. Over here, we have a statement, a summary of the statements of congruency. So we have the fact that angle T, which has one arc, corresponds to angle L. These two are corresponding, they're going to be equivalent. This line segment, YV, with the little line above it, that means it's a line segment, corresponds to MP. The little hash mark here and here means that these two sides are congruent, that they're the same length. Then we have the fact that R corresponds to K, that this point corresponds to that point. So what we can say is that VTRY is going to be congruent to PLKM. You'll notice if V corresponds to P, I write them first. Since T corresponds to L, that will be the second letter that's written, second point that's written. And once we start going in one direction, we continue to work our way around the whole entire shape when we are stating the name of this polygon. So if we look at these two examples over here, if we take this first one, okay, looking at lengths, well, TS is going to be congruent to JK. Okay, and I know that because this goes down two boxes, so this also has a length of 2. J to N as 1, 2, 3. T to W as 3 as well. So I can put 2 lines there to mean that that's congruent. Okay. WT is a right angle, as is angle S. The same thing with angle J and angle K. So what I can say then is angle S corresponds or is congruent to angle K. And angle J is going to be congruent to angle T. I can also say WT is congruent to JN. So if we look at the sides that are congruent, if I want to write about the shape, if I start at S and go STWR, so work around this way, around the shape, and I want to say it's congruent to S corresponds with K, and then if I work around this way, because using of which sides are equivalent or congruent, I will say it's STWR is congruent to K, J, and L. And that's the statement of congruency. For the triangles below, if I focus on what angles are congruent, I can say that triangle T, starting with the line, one line, going to R, with two lines in the angle going to S is going to be congruent to triangle. I'll start with K because it has the 1, then go to J with 2, then to L. So it's congruent to triangle K, J, L. That would be the statement, although I could do each angle, each side separately. In order to show that triangles are congruent, I could prove that every side and every angle is congruent, but I don't need to. As we've been working in class, the 3 theorems, okay, or concepts, or postulate, are side, 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 angle, angle, side, angle. So anytime I have 2 angles and at least one side, I can prove that the triangle is going to be congruent. This is also sometimes known as angle, angle, side. Okay. How does so in letter A, I have a side with an angle in between with a side. And the same thing with K. It's the side, the angle, and the side. So this is congruent in the sense that triangle TJB is congruent to triangle KDM because of side, angle, side. For letter B, these are congruent. If I do the sides, triangle CYL is congruent to triangle DXL by the fact that I have an angle, a side, and then an angle. So it's angle, side, angle. And these are basically the theorems that we're going to use in this section, as well as recognizing which angles and which sides are congruent.